Call conversion tracking, it should be your go-to when you're running any kind of Google Ads campaigns and a conversion is going to be a call. If you have got a phone number on a landing page, if you're running a call ad, but if any type of the conversions that you're going to track as a call, then you've got to really make sure that you're taking the time to set up that conversion tracking, because I can't even tell you how many times I see campaigns that are set up without it. You'll never be able to get all of your real data without it, and it is that important in your setup. So I've created this video so I can show you what you need to know about call conversion tracking in Google Ads and how to be able to set it up. Hey everyone, I'm Richard Cruz, and my agency WSI Priority Media tests Google Ads strategy every day in our own agency here, and we discover those things that are working, we discover the things that are not working, and I create these videos for the purpose of being able to give you the latest tips and advice on how to be able to have your own Google Ads campaigns run well. So if you've ever run, call ads or a campaign with call conversions, you know that the Google Ads tracking, it can really be tough. So I'm going to give you the important facts and information that you need to know. When it comes to tracking in Google Ads, Google Ads counts a conversion when it lasts, more than, the minimum length that you set. And so what's really great about, Google is that you can, determine what that is, how long that period is going to be. It's not a one size fits all. Every business is different, and it really depends on your phone answering system. And so if you have every phone call that is answered within the first 3 rings, you're on the line with the people, you can usually set a conversion to a short period of time. Within about 30 seconds, you know that you've got somebody live on the line, and that's a really good number. If there is a little bit of a call queue that they've got to go to first, and it's going to extend that, then you may want to go with 60 seconds. So test your calls. I've had many people who really think that a 20-second is sufficient, and then I'll call and I just have my stopwatch on and how long it takes me to really have a person on the line. We're engaging and we're having a conversation. That's a lead. You've started a conversation with somebody and find out that that's a good solid 45 to 50 seconds. And so make sure that you know your numbers. And this way, what you can do is you can filter out those shorter calls that probably don't include, that are just not sales that fall off along the way. And then that way your data is really, really good. Google Forward numbers, they're also a really, really great tool to use. What you'll do is you'll just replace, on your website, the number with the forwarding number. What I love about it is there's no cost to that. And when you do that, you really have some great detail. You can see your call attribution all the way down to the ad group, to the ad, to the keyword, to the campaign level. I mean, it gives you some really, really great numbers. So you make sure you utilize those. And one thing that I really enjoy is that the phone analytics, they're now available inside of your Google Analytics. So you can see that when you're running Google Analytics reports, you can see all that information in there as well too. But again, you got to make sure that you're doing all of the setup. So the call conversion tracking, it only works if you've got your call extensions that are enabled. So use that number and make sure you put it in the extension. There's 2 parts when you're setting up your Google Ads call conversion tracking. The first one is to create a conversion action, and then the second one is to make sure that you set up the conversion tracking inside of your tag manager. Inside of your tag manager, you want to make sure that you have all of that in place. Let's do this. I'm going to start with the call conversion tracking, and I'm going to show you how to be able to do that. Start with going to your account in Tools, and then from there, you're going to go to your measurement, and you're going to click on Conversions. Hit the plus. I'm here inside of a test account that we have. It doesn't really have much data. And then you go to Phone Calls. And then from the phone calls, what I want you to do is scroll up and select the source of your calls. So your calls, they're coming from ads using your call extensions or your call only ads. They're calls to a phone number that's on your website or calls on a number on your mobile website. So normally we're going to say, for example, calls that are from ads using the call extensions or call only ads, which I'm a big fan of. We use call only ads, very extensively in our agency. So you're going to put in your category. You're going to go ahead and put in your conversion name, right? So test conversion name, I'll just put right in here. And then what you're going to do is assign a value for the conversion. You could put don't use a value, but you should have, really work your numbers and understand what the value is of each lead. So let's say, for example, each new customer is worth $1,000. And for every 5, it's easier math, 5 phone calls that you get, you turn it into a lead. So really each call is worth about $200, 2, 4, 6, 8, 1. So in this case here, I would put a call value at $200. And this is where you're going to count whether it's going to be every or it's going to be one. How many conversions to count per click interaction. So if it's everyone, that would be, say, if you're running some sort of shopping. And so, person's coming back, they're buying things from you. But if it's more for lead signups, it's just even though they've called twice, it's really going to be one conversion. The next one here would be a call length. And this is where I was talking about earlier, and making sure that you set the number that's going to be applicable for you so you have some really good data there. And then your click-through conversion window, we normally go with 30 days, including conversions, and then attribution model. Normally last click we'll use very often in emergency plumbing, emergency locksmith, where it's usually just a one call. And we'll use time decay as our normal go-to. And then you click create and continue, and then you've set up your test conversion action. And it is really as simple as that. I hope that you've learned at least one thing in this video. And if you did, leave that in the comments below. And if you need help with your own Google Ads, take our 45-day challenge where we'll improve your Google Ads in 45 days or less, guaranteed, or you pay nothing. And so you want to learn more about that, click below. And do me a favor, remember to like this video, to subscribe, and to be alerted of future videos like this just by doing that. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.